Hello, my friends. It is I. I have the game minimized again. Hello, it is me. Blur, skipping the Foost, the first from Rai. Rai here. First and a half. 1.5 to the stream. And on a 15 stream streak, heck yeah! Rai, thanks for hanging out so much. Pie's here as well. I see your redeems, chat. I see your redeems. I have a chicken bake from Costco, so I think I'll be fine. Ooh, that sounds lovely. I don't have a chicken bake from Costco, but it's also 10:45 in the morning, so, I mean, we good. I do have coffee. I've got some nice caramel coffee sitting in front of me. Very delicious. I've got the nice sounds of this game, Lo-Fi Session Spirit City, in my ears. I realized that we won't actually be looking at the game very much today. So we won't unlock spirits, or I could unlock the spirits and then show them on stream after I've unlocked them. I'll leave it up to you guys. We could work on unlocking the spirits tomorrow, or we can unlock them today and just, I'll do the big reveal on the screen. But we're mostly going to be in Photoshop today. I forgot that I'm not actually writing today, so we'll actually be seeing my screen for the majority of the stream, the streamy stram. So I'll leave it up to you guys. We'll put it to a vote at some point. They fixed all the dumb shit people were abusing in 2024 D&D. Nice! I haven't been following the new release super much, so I don't know what was happening. My my experience with D&D 2024 has solely been your stream. So I'm definitely not in the know for that. But it's nice to know they did I'm assuming they did a hotfix patch update. So yeah, here I am. It's Wednesday morning. It's midway through the week. Bee update. Don't know what happened to the bee. The bee is gone. It threw itself against the window of the skylight quite a lot last night. I think it got pretty desperate. But it never came down. It never came down to a place where I could reach it, and now it's vanished. I assume it either crawled up into the windowsill and perished, or Flutter, 41 months! Thank you so much for the subscription. Lurking while I work on my pixie costume. How is the costume going? I know you're lurking, but let us know. Let us know what percentage you think you've finished and what percentage you have left to go. It's going. Best answer. Best answer for all creative endeavors. 10 out of 10, no notes. I hope that you're at a percentage level that completion is possible without staying up for 48 hours straight. That is the best blessing that one in a creative endeavor can receive. Is I hope you can finish by your deadline without staying up so long that you hallucinate. I hope it can be done, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I admit that I have not been around a ton the past few weeks. I've been very, very busy, but I have popped in to lurk a couple times to see you cutting out wings and getting them ready. I'm actually very curious to see, because I don't think I've seen the compilation of the wings, so I'm very curious to see what they look like when they're all added to the outfit. I'm gonna sneeze. This is your heads up. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I feel the tickle. I'll lean as far away from my mic as I can when it happens. Sardonisms is here. Sardonisms. How's it going? How's life treating you today? True polymorph polymorph shape change and true polymorph give temp HP now instead of new HP pool. And the wording was vague that people were trying to justify that they could cast it and then drop concentration to basically shield people. Now it reads these temporary hit points vanish if any remain when the spell ends. That makes sense. I wouldn't have imagined that the intention of the spell was to totally change how the spell works. I'm hoping once it gets together, it'll be a beautiful mess. So at least the best part will be true. I am sure it will be gorgeous. Every single cosplay outfit that I've seen you make has been gorgeous. So, I, of course, expect pictures. I can't wait to see them. Do it, destroy the mic. I did knock my mic over yesterday. I promise I will try not to do that yesterday. I feel like I destroyed everybody's heart/hearing yesterday because I accidentally knocked over my mic. I will endeavor not to do that today. Although I still don't know how it fell over because I just barely touched the cord, but I've tried to get the cords into a place where they're not in the way. I don't know if I've succeeded. I definitely have not. What you guys see here, organized. What's over here, not organized. I have a new esports romance to read to try to convince myself not to go back and reread the whole epic one I just finished this weekend. Yeah, but there's comfort in rereading something sometimes. But I hope you find something that excites you and makes you feel fulfilled and happy, because it's nice to find new stories. A Costco chicken bake is chicken, Caesar dressing, mozzarella, and parm in a baked shell. Oh, that sounds so good. Not at 10:51 in the morning, but that sounds so good. Not back-to-back, fair. Sardonisms. Fair. I'm gonna lean out of frame and blow my nose in hopes I don't sneeze. Key, how's it going? I noticed, Key, on your last cooking stream that the knife in hand incidents had gone up from 1 to 2, and I'm just wondering what the second knife in hand incident was? Mumbles told us about the first one, but I was very concerned when I saw that the number had increased. Mystery Mochi, hello, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm leaning out of frame right now because I'm sniffly. So yeah. It's pretty much the most exciting update of my life. What happened last night? B was not found. B has vanished. I also hung out last night while the Winds of Chaos crew were getting set up for their next round of the game. Alright. I'm gonna start a poll, you guys. There is a poll for you guys to vote in. Do we want to unlock spirits today? Keep in mind that this screen is not going to be visible for much of the time. We're going to be looking mostly at Photoshop. We're just going to be popping into this screen every now and then when I need to hide something that's on my desktop. So if you want, we can still unlock the spirits and then switch back to the game when it's time to show their appearance. Or we can save them for tomorrow when they'll be on screen. But I guess we wouldn't technically see the new spirits anyway until we get them unlocked, and we have to hang out with specific spirits in order to unlock them. So I'll leave that up to you guys. One of the reasons we do have the lo-fi sessions up, aside from the fact that it provides music and background noise, is that there are a couple things that I have to hide on my screen, because Photoshop now does this thing where it shows me all of the files I've worked on for the past month, and some of them are for my pen name, and I would out myself. I would very much out myself if I revealed that. So we won't do that. We will instead do something else. We'll hide it. We'll hide it when I have to open things. Need to also open. Also, there are some things in my file structure that probably shouldn't flash on the screen. You know how it is. So I did make a version of the cover that we're going to make today, but I don't like it, and I'll tell you why when we get there. But basically, the last time we worked on refreshing these covers, the first time I made these covers, they didn't exactly turn out the way I wanted them to. So a cherry chai latte. I've not had cherry chai. That sounds amazing. Sliced my thumb making a charcuterie for Mumbles last week. Oh no, I was just going too fast while cleaning the knife. Key, I'm so sorry. I hope it has healed. I've eaten that at 10 a.m. Fair, right. I did just eat breakfast though, so I'm not soups hungry right now. I made the vote nice. Someone voted. Hey, Pi, you made it nice. That's the most important thing. I thought you were poor on points, Pi. Why are you putting all your points into the poll? I have an important question for the poll. Are these the last spirits to unlock, or there will be more you can do on stream? They're the last spirits to unlock, but we have to hang out with spirits that we already have while we're unlocking them. So the spirits that would be on screen during the unlocking process would be spirits that we unlocked in the base game. And when we do the unlock, I will switch over to the game so that you can actually see the animation where they come out and we can read the spirit decks and everything. I'll show that part on screen. But the actual, like, hanging out with the spirits while the spirit decks is spinning part would be off screen, if that makes sense. I'm down to 43 points. Pi, you're amazing. The fact that you spend your points on the things you do just makes me so happy, and I appreciate the hell out of you. 43,000! You told me you were poor yesterday! Oh my god. Pi, the level of cap that you are throwing at me today. That's right, I used a word that you taught me. The level of cap. The level of cap being leveled at me right now, Pi. Oh my goodness. So yeah. Basically, we talked about this the last time I worked on this project, but I don't have the budget to get all of my covers made by Molly, unfortunately. I have 13.6k apparently. I have a charity case. Somebody sent Sardinism some points. That's only 4, say the thing. I mean, that's true, but why would you need to hear me say it 4 times? My god. Oh. Sorry about the yawning. Still in the early stages of coffee. Basically, I don't have the budget to get 6 covers every year from Molly. I wish I did. But I don't sell enough books to hire her that often. So my side project covers are all made by me. The Eternity's Empire covers were made by me, and the Everyone's Child covers were made by me. And when we did our initial streams for the Everyone's Child covers, I couldn't get the concept that I had originally to work. And I got very frustrated about it. Pi, enjoy your lurk. Thank you for spending so many points to make the poll nice. basically, I think that my original concept for the covers was too complex. I was way overthinking it. And so I had to adjust because I only had so much time. Sounds like Ghost used to go work the corner for you. Ghost provides, and he provides very well. So I believe he has done more than enough. We're gonna be an octopus for the rest of this conversation. But I do still need to make some of my own covers. So the concept I sort of changed on the fly because it wasn't working. And while I was happy with some of the covers I made, especially the first cover in the series, not all of them really lived up to what I was trying to do. So I went back to the drawing board. I sort of reevaluated why I felt the covers hadn't worked out the way I wanted them to work, and I came up with a simpler version of the cover concept so that we could go back and try it again. And when we did, it worked really well. It worked so well that I got 2 covers done the last time we did this. So let me pop those up on stream. I'll do a little, we'll do a little side by side here. Actually, let me open the bigger ones. I don't know if I fully saved the other ones, so we'll take a minute here. Hey Blur, how's it going? So if I turn on the display capture here. So this one is the cover that we originally made, and I'm actually quite happy with this cover. I'm going to take this cover and turn it into the box set cover. But it wasn't the concept I had originally. I originally had a concept of essentially 2 backgrounds, and one of them sort of being seen through the other. So I went back and I found simpler designs that were basically just outlines, and we were able to create this. And what I like about this is that you can see the second background breaking through the first one. It has clear, clean lines, and even when I zoom out, you can tell what, oh gosh, I have a bell! You can tell what is coming through, even on the smaller versions. That's really key, I think, because when you're scrolling on Amazon, you only see the small version of the book cover. And while this is very nice looking, I don't think it really catches the eye very well when it's small. But when I resize this, and you can kind of tell if I just take a hold of this, and just make it super small, you can see that the concept of it sort of holds up. That's as small as it will let me go. But even if I go smaller than that, you can still see this image in the background. You can still see what it is. And I think that's the most important thing, is that you can still make out all the details. It's eye-catching, it's interesting, and I think it just works a lot better for the concept I was going for. So this is kind of what we've been switching over to. And for the second one, let me take a moment because I don't think I have actually saved the flat version of the second book yet, so I have to actually open it here and open the old one. One moment here. Hold, please. So here you can see the second one. This was the original. And again, I'm not terribly upset about it. It looks okay. It kind of hits the concept I was going for a little bit better than the first one. That's fine, Sardonisms. You can have as much Ephema as you can pay for, let's be honest. But still feeling crappy. I hope you're starting to recover. Colds seriously suck. Once that sore throat is gone, you can be reassured that you'll be back on your feet in a few days. But it didn't quite do exactly what I wanted it to do, obviously. And I just think this new one just works with the concept a lot better. We've got the desert background, we've got the ram horn, and we've got the forest going through it. And again, if I zoom out, really far, you can still see in the smaller concept, you can still see that this is a forest. So that's sort of what we're going for. And this, you can see the reason why I don't really like this one is you can't see through the feathers. You can't really see what the second image is. It's just there's not quite enough solid imagery there to actually make out what is in the background. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace this feathers with a different feathered image that has bigger portions to it. And hopefully, I think that's going to... I've done a couple of tests with this one. I think that's going to clean it up and make it a bit more visually... not just interesting, but coherent. First through fourth will be on Creative Commons by the end of the summer. First through fourth... What now? Did I miss something? Oh, editions of D&D. I assumed this related to D&D, but I couldn't figure out what first through fourth meant. Hey, I have done that so many times, Rai. Sometimes my fingers move so quickly that I just start typing gibberish, I'm gonna be honest. Alright, let's go back to the game for just 1 minute, because we voted to unlock the next spirits. So we only have 2 left. Yes, and we were working on our 8th friend. So I believe we have to, be simmering. That's not the right one. Ooh, Joe's here. Joe, how are you doing? How are you feeling today? I hope you're doing well. We need a little 8 boy. Perfect. So we were hanging out with him yesterday. We didn't quite finish unlocking this. And once we have unlocked him, we have 1 more. And I believe we have to wash the dishes to get that one. So that will be happening off camera. Let me close all of the tons of images I've opened here. And I do have... I need to open one more thing here, sorry. That should unfreeze the animations. I have hopefully found an image that I think will work. I've tested a few different images, and I've settled on one that I think will work better for what I'm going for. Ironically, I thought wings would be the easiest image to find. Because I was like, oh, there are so many different images for wings, on various, stock photo sites. And it turns out, that most of them are too complicated. They have too many details in them, and that makes it difficult to do what I want to do. I have two options here, I think. I think that one is not going to be shaped well, though. I'm trying to only buy one stock photo image here, so I think we're going to commit to this one. To log into deposit photos so that I can use my credits. And I want to download not a vector but a JPEG. To find the button that says download image, which I apparently can't see today. Alright. Saving that. Joe, what are you up to today? I saw you were playing Honkai. Was there a new waifu? Was there a new waifu? Did you get her? And are you happy with that? Barred Owl! Hello, my dear. How are you today? I'm going to be working on your owls some more because I can actually flash this on the screen now. I finished the dinosaur in space. It's finished. I sent a picture of this to Flanny already. You can't see the nebula in the background as well on the camera as you can in the picture, but it's finished. It's done. I'm very happy with it. I'm glad I did it on blue because I feel like if I had done it on black, it would not have popped as well. Because there's actually a lot of black in it. But that's finished. That's for our good friend Flannelsaurus. And now I'm going to be going back and doing some detail work on the owls. They don't need a ton of work. There's only a couple of details on each of them, but I'm going to be going back and finishing those off, so that we will be one step closer to sending them to the final owner. There was last week, we just needed to finish the story update. Did you get the new waifu, Joe? Was she on your list of pools to do? I know the terminology. I know there are some that you don't have interest in, so you skip them. Nice! Congratulations. I hope that you got her quickly so that you are able to save some of your resources. Alright. Sorry, I'm just adjusting some things here in the background. sure I have the proper versions of all my files open. Break will be over soon and I'll be lurking, but I just wanted to say hi and I love you. Bard, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate the heck out of you. And I hope you're feeling a little bit better today. I know you've been under the weather a lot. Alright. I think I just need to open new file. Got all the proper files here. I'm looking now. Ooh, bot. I'm assuming you mean the one in our private messages. Browses. Browsies. I don't pull for husbandos. Fair. There's a lot of characters in those games, and you can only use like 4 of them at one time, I think. So I can understand why in a game with limited resources you would pick and choose the ones that you actually want to have. I wanted you to appreciate the naughty reference. I always appreciate a naughty reference, Bard Owl, and I appreciate that you know that. Some of the endgame content you need 2 teams of 4. Oh, well that's actually good because you have so many characters in that game that you want to actually use them from time to time, I would imagine. Coastar told me to be naughty today. Ooh. Bard Owl, have fun. It sounds like a lovely day. Ephema is such a good voice to use when we're talking about naughty things. Alright, I think I have everything open here. First let me unfreeze the animations. So we have this going on over here. And we've got this version. This is a good concept, but it's not quite what we're going for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up my image, because I have a bunch of things, that I'm not going to end up using from when I was testing. So let's just delete all of those things. Delete that. Delete that. And then we have another test here. We'll delete that one. Alright. So now we're just down to our base of what we're using as a background. And we're going to take... Ooh, I'm going to click on the right thing at some point. And we're going to take these wings... Going to take these wings and we're going to put them on here, and they're almost exactly the right size already. Resize this later. I'm going to do that. So we have our wings. perfect. The positioning is pretty good. We can always adjust that later. And now what we need to do is lean out of frame and blow my nose. I do like the shape of this wing. It's very much what I had in mind when I... That was another thing, is there are so many different wings. It was hard to find wings that were the shape I wanted them to be, to fit easily into the size. Ooh. Also, we need to get rid of that. Thank you. Thank you. Come again. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to invert so that we have the dark lines inside. And then I believe the blend mode that we've done for these is hold on, I need to find the right I believe it's light and what to do. There we go, yes, makes it see-through. So now you can see that we have basically a see-through image here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this image and we're going to put that behind the wings. And we want to get now what I'd like to do is actually to create an extra layer here and make it black. So we only see through there. And so now we can move this image around and see only what we would see inside. And I think when you look at this, you can actually see through the openings what that image is. You can actually see that that's an underwater city, which is what we're trying to do essentially. Is create this image of an underwater city. And we're just going to move it around bit by bit until we find the most interesting visual parts to fit in there. I think I want to get some of the fish in. Now I can also make this somewhat smaller. If we find that fitting it in works a little better, if we sort of do that. Perfect. And then when you look at that, you can see Underwater City. I think it works very well. And then if we take off, basically we're going to have to delete the rest of that around there. But I think we have the most visually interesting part within our frame. And so then what we can do is we can go here and select this. And then we come down here to this layer and we clear it. And there we have it. We have our see-through frame. We have our image behind it, and you can see what both of those things are. You can see that there's a library. You can see that there's an underwater city. This is what we were going for. Janine, hello. Joe, your house is underwater? How long has that been a thing? So what I'm going to do now is, of course, first of all, make sure that we get rid of this up here, because just a little bit of stray content there. We're gonna save. And now, basically, we're gonna do some finishing on this. We're going to make this image behind there look a little bit more vibrant, pop out a little bit more, and then we're going to do, if you see how this has essentially the glowing outline, that's what we're going to do next. And I might even actually, now that we're done with that, I remember how I did this. I remember how I did this now. Now that I know the process, it's much faster than we did the first book. Janine, thank you for your compliment on the cover. We've been refreshing the covers for this series. The concept didn't quite go the way I wanted it to the first time, so I'm really happy with it. I'm going to take a quick break, and what I will do is I will leave you with the spirits today while I'm AFK. And I'm just going to go pop AFK and use the washroom and refresh my coffee, but I'll leave you with the spirits since we're not spending as much time with them today, and I will be right back. Have fun with the monkey, the gingerbread monkey. Alright, I'm back. And I'm no longer a FEMA. Everyone get your eating utensils. The spirits are food. The spirits in the kitchen are food spirits, but they help you make food. You don't eat them. Alright, we've unlocked a new one. He's a toaster! What? That's adorable! Well, Joe, there's a long history of toaster lore on your stream. Toastmate. Toastmate is a warm and reliable spirit. Adopted as a mascot by the Monkey Appliance Division, this spirit predates 8-Bit by several decades. As a playful gesture of affection, it will eject a slice of toast from its head. While not edible, its doneness can give insight into the mood of this spirit. If you notice Toastmate feeling a bit overdone, try adjusting the knobs on its ears to let it cool off. Just like its digital cousin 8-Bit, Toastmates thrive on nostalgia and comfort, making them a perfect companion when baking delicious treats. Also, we've leveled up. Heck yeah. Tells you how much I play this game. How much I use this game for productivity, I should say. Let's look at the skins for the Toastmate. So we got retro blue toaster. We got retro red toaster. And we got retro yellow toaster. Adorbs. Adorbsable. Very cute. Oh, and his tail is a plug. I just noticed that. His tail is a plug. Keep Optimus Prime away from that one. Yeah. Maybe a good call. Alright, so I think the spirit we need to hang out with to unlock the last one is this Sweetie Boop. So we'll do one of the winter skins. And I believe for the last one, don't let the dirty dishes pile up. The running water almost sounds like a river. A fishy pal will enjoy splashing in the water. So we need to do dishwashing. Oh, he has a bowl. He has a bowl to swim in, you guys. It's too cute. It's too cute. Look at this. And I think we need to turn on the water sound. The running water sound. This one? Yes. Alright. So we'll let that run in the background while we work on the cover. Look at how happy that fish is to have a bowl. I'm gonna die from the cuteness, right? Toasters are overrated. We eat our toast raw. Some of us like toast toasted. Joe? We actually keep our bread in the freezer a lot so that it doesn't get moldy. So eating it raw would not go well. It would just be frozen. I still like that when we were talking about, like, our ideal sandwiches, like our dream sandwich that you would go to the deli and construct, Joe was like, I just want a hamburger bun. Joe was just like, give me a hamburger bun. You know what, Joe? You like what you like. I'm not judging you. I'm never gonna yuck somebody else's yum. I just thought it was interesting that that was your go-to. All right. So now we've created a segmented version of this, and again, still you can see that you can still see through it what this image behind it actually is. So now what we want to do is gotta see where I this one. Here we go. So stroke outside 5 color white. Just trying to remember how I did this. I can already tell this image is working a lot better than the other one because the lines weren't clear and solid on the last one. But they're very clear and solid on this one. got my video done for tomorrow. Heck yeah. How did your VOD uploading go, Rai? I assume you're still working through that as well. Now this is looking much more like how we wanted it to look, so I'm feeling very good about this. Alright, and then we have inner shadow, multiply opacity 35. Outer glow, which is that screen 35. And then we need the size 19 and 27. Be a perfect match for that one. Have VODs uploaded through April 29th. Heck yeah, working on Bourbon channel and building up a backlog there. Nice. I would edit, but I can't really focus at the moment, so just gonna be drawing. Blur, you gotta take it easy till you feel better. Alright, let's link these two layers so that if I move one, I move them both. That's still lurking in the background there. This is basically done. So we spent so much time making the first one that I can now basically, if I have the background done, I can basically make one of these in 5 minutes. And then what we want to do is we want to go here and we want to adjust the, I believe it's the vibrance. And we're just going to turn that right up. So if I hit cancel, you can kind of see how dull that is. But if we just jack it right up, you can see how much more color there is. I can also fiddle with the saturation. Do I want to do that? Hang on. Don't know that I do. I think it looks pretty good like that. And then if we want to, we can adjust the exposure. So I believe what's the default setting for that? I can make it a bit brighter if I want to. I can also adjust the curves, which allows me to give it a bit more depth. to it as well. And I can basically, that's what it looks like with, and that's what it looks like without. Laurel the Bookshare, hello again. Thank you so much. 37 months. Holy wow. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Haven't gotten to talk to you in a while. So yeah, I can either leave it sort of like that, or we can have it just pop a little bit more by using that one. Actually, I know which one I like better. So it's probably a little bit more balanced. And then there's one thing I wanted to test, which is this. I wanted to potentially move this above and see what that looks like. And I think we're almost done. We just need to make the text pop out a little bit more. Uh-oh, Joe and Pi are here at the same time. Everybody run for the hills. If you can find a way to make it physical so that you can eat it, sure. I wouldn't know how you would do it, but sure. Let's check on our fish. Still having a fun time, our little fish. I can print out a screenshot and eat it? Sure, go, you know what? Go for it, Pi. I'm not gonna tell you no. Alright, and then for this, I believe we adjusted the drop shadow to be 100%. That was how we made that pop. And now, theoretically, that should be done. I'm not sure how readable that is going to be in the small version, but that is what we're going for. That is the look that we want. I can make the wing part smaller if I need to. Or tilt it a bit so that it covers less of the text. Let's see if we just zoom out. Ooh, hang on. We've got straight bit there. Ooh. Zoom out. It's okay. I do wish wish I could make the text pop a little bit more. It's about the same level of readable as all of the other ones, though. What do we think, chat? I do like we've zoomed out and you can still tell what this image is. Which was the critical point that was missing from the other ones. Now you don't want to? I'm so sorry, Pi. I've ruined your breakfast. I'm so sorry. Oops, definitely don't do that. Free book glitch. This is a little bit outside of my, it's a little bit outside of my knowledge to be fiddling with the, text. that feels... darker, but significantly more readable of the text. Saturday next Tuesday's video's done? Heck yeah, Rai. You're booking it. Zooming through. Alright, so if I zoom out... this is more readable than it was before. By quite a bit. So it might be finished. That might be it. That might be the one. Figured out how to make a video template, and it saves me 5 more minutes so I can do one in basically the time it takes to watch the video. Nice! I love that. I love that when you can eliminate repeat work, essentially. Alright, so... let me see here. New. I have a new master file for that. So I need to do a master file for this one. Size and weight. Save a copy. switch back to the display capture. There we go! We have the 3 new covers! I'm super happy with that. So I've talked about this a little bit in the past, but unified series branding. So, one thing that you want to make sure for all of the books in the series, you want all of the titles to be in the same place. You want all of the author to be in the same place. So the typeset is the same for each, and you see that we have some things going on with the typesetting where we have the swoopy doopies overlapping where we can. So we've got the text has its own unique flow, and it's the same across all 3. And instead of a united color scheme, we have a united sort of theme where you can see each book has a background, each book has a foreground, and each book has its separate design that goes with it. So you can tell that these books belong in the series because they all 3 have the same sort of image and flow. The runes did get a little bit lost on the Each One's Wayward Niece, so I might see if I can move those just a little bit. Because you can see the runes clearly here, and you can see the runes clearly here. But you can't really see them on the middle cover, so we might tweak that a tiny bit. But aside from that, these are pretty much done. So we can close that. We can close that and that. Let's see. So we have this. Let's see if I can. So I think this is my. These are my rune layers. Top. It doesn't look super good if I do that. And I can move this. This up as well. Yeah. So I can move the effect to being over top. I don't know if I like that as much. That's not what I wanted to do. think I gotta... Oop. Not supposed to show that. I gotta reopen that. Merging those layers did not... Merging those layers did not serve me well. That still isn't the same. It just doesn't look the same. Doesn't do it either. What the heck? Why is everything on Google about Photoshop wrong? I want to select part of a layer and move just the part that's selected. There should be a way to do this. Okay. Kind of got it to work. But only for one layer. I want it to select the whole group of layers. Not doing it. I don't think Flareon can help me with the fact that nothing works the way it says it's supposed to work. I just want it to move what's in the selection. I don't want it to move the whole layer. I just want it to move what's in the selection. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't do everything that Google says is supposed to work. It just doesn't work. It moves the whole layer, and I don't want it to move the whole layer. I just want to move a selection. And it doesn't matter how specifically I Google. It just says, use a selection tool like the lasso or rectangular marquee to create your selection. I did that. Then use the move tool to drag the selection rather than the entire layer. That doesn't work. I don't want to move the selection border. I want to move everything that's in it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I select. It does it the wrong way. I am going to lose my fucking mind in a minute. Like, I'm really, really pissed off right now. This happens every time I use Photoshop, and I don't know why. It's stupidly complicated. Why doesn't this work? In the old version of Photoshop, this worked just fine. Why doesn't it work? I'm going on a break. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I got mad. I got mad because I have this issue with Photoshop every time I use it. And that issue is literally every time I Google a tutorial on how to do something in Photoshop, it doesn't work the way it says it's supposed to. Like, I look at the tutorial and the tutorial says, do this. And so I follow the exact instructions. I click on all of the boxes I'm supposed to click on, and it doesn't do that thing. And I don't understand why. I didn't have this issue with the older version of Photoshop that I used to use. If I Googled how to do blah blah in Photoshop 5 or 7 or whatever the old one I had was, it would work every time. And when I use the new version of Photoshop, it just doesn't work, and no one can tell me why. Flareon actually very patiently walked me through a thing once before where I was trying to just use the brush tool and it was doing a weird opacity thing, and it took us like literally 24 hours to figure out why that was happening. So one thing I really, really hate about the new Photoshop is it's very obtuse, and things that seem like they should be intuitive aren't. And I get really, really frustrated when I know I'm using the right combination of buttons, and I know I've done a thing before, and it just won't do it. So, sorry I rage quit a little bit. I really had to pee. I should have taken a break much sooner, but I thought this would take literally 5 minutes, and here we are 40 minutes later. I've come up with a really stupidly obtuse way of doing what I want to do. I shouldn't have to do it this way. It should work a different way that's much simpler and easier, but I've come up with a really just horribly bulky way to do it. That should actually work. Let's unlock our new spirit. This is the last one. It's sushi! I don't know why we unlocked sushi from washing the dishes. That seems really weird. But Sushi Fin! On afternoons when school lets out, you may spot groups of Sushi Fin roaming the streets, claiming various back alleys as their territory. I almost read that as back allergies, which made no sense. On afternoons when school lets out, you may spot groups of Sushi Fin roaming the streets, claiming various back alleys as their territory. Unlike their much more chill relatives, Drizzle Fin, Sushi Fin have a reputation for being extremely territorial, often seen as bullies by other spirits. Oh, they mean boys. They take great pride in the pompadour-like bulb atop their heads, which they use to ram into other spirits. Joe, where's Joe? There is a spirit that fights other spirits. There's finally a spirit that fights other spirits. My finger slipped and I accidentally ordered more books I don't have time to read. What do I do? Create more hours in the day, my friends. And then let me know how you did it so that I can do the same. They take great pride in the pompadour-like bulb atop their heads, which they use to ram into other spirits. While intimidating, it's actually quite harmless, as the bulb is very soft and squishy. However, in my research, I have come to learn that this is yet another case of misunderstanding. Sushi Fin struggle to express themselves, and their head bunks are actually their attempt at making friends and showing affection. That sounds mean. Don't hurt people to show your affection, guys. It's very bad. Okay, so, we've got salmon. That's definitely salmon. I'm not sure what that is. What fish would that be? Is that tuna? Is that tuna? Oh, what would that be? I don't know that fish. Joe, they ram into the other spirits. They ram into the other spirits with their sushi. So again, I'm gonna do something to mango. What's to mango? I'm gonna do something really stupidly bulky to make this work, but it's the only way I can think of to make it do what I want it to do. Get reading fast. Yeah, learn to speed read. That's another option. KU offered me 3 months for 99 cents, so my finger slipped there too. What do I read with those 3 months? Well, Sardinisms, I happen to know an author whose all of her books are on KU. And all you have to do is hit the exclamation books command right up there to get a link to their profile. Oh, egg sushi. I don't think I've had Tamago. Or Tamago. I'm putting a whole extra N in there. Tamago. Not mango. Why did I read it as mango? Look, if you accidentally do this... well, Sardinisms, theoretically, do you like fantasy or sci-fi more? Which do you prefer? The sci-fis or the fantasies? Whoops. That's what I meant to do at all. But which do you like the most? Like, I don't like hard sci-fi much, but soft I like. If you are interested in this grumpy little elf boy down here, I would say Aravalia Chronicles. Go for it. Epic fantasy. If you like, if you are looking for the soft sci-fi, go for, if you like a space opera in your life, go for, the Celestial Serenade. Alright. Unlink. The only thing I can think of to do, and this is so silly, is to duplicate these. Now they should look identical. They should look identical. And they do. Okay, cool. So now I want to link these layers. And I want to go here. Whoops. Alright. Now, finally and at last, although I actually want to unlink those. Finally and at last, I have done what I set out to do. I have created this in 2 separate layers. Oh, shit. Hang on. Hang on. Deselect. There we go. Okay.
So now we want to take this. Deselect. Now I should be able to move just these. Friggin' hell, it's taken this long to get here. But here we are at last. Doing the thing that I want to do, hopefully. Ish. Okay. Again, I feel like the path we took to get here was somewhat stupidly complicated. I think that's where they're going to be the most visible, to be honest. Whoop! That wasn't what I meant to do. I slipped. see just how much easier this was when it did what I wanted it to do and it wasn't like stupidly complicated. Alright, save, because that took forever to get here. Wait, which series is Ephema in? Oh, sardonisms, I'm so sorry. Ephema is a D&D character, she doesn't have a novel. Ephema is a spoken character, a visual, not even a visual character, just a spoken character. Why doesn't she? Well, you know, I didn't know there was interest in an Ephema novel. If you like oddball fantasy, definitely check out... Sorry, I was so absorbed in what I was doing. If you like oddball fantasy, check out Aravalia Chronicles. It's a high fantasy epic. It takes place in a modern-day world. There's quite a clash between magic and technology. It's been a lot of fun figuring out how the two overlap and interact with each other. Would definitely say it would suit what you were looking for. Ephema would fit perfectly in Aravalia Chronicles. She just doesn't exist there. I'm so happy that you guys love Ephema so much that you would love to see her in a novel. I would love to. Maybe for the blog we'll do the dimension hopping adventures of Ephema once we finish My Little Domarin. Rai, that reminds me, you still haven't sent me your pony. Do that. Yeah, if you like oddball fantasy, you definitely would be into Aravalia Chronicles. I'm so sorry that you can't read about Ephema. Aravalia is technically 5 trilogies. Total. Not all of them are out yet. Do you need to read the chunks in order? Like group A, then B, then C? Yes. They won't make sense if you don't read them in order. But they do come out every, if you like chunks, if you like to read stuff in chunks, they do come out every December. There's a box set. So the first 3 books, the first trilogy, the first chunk is available as one whole thing called Once Upon a Dream. It should be there on my Amazon profile. You can read it on Kindle Unlimited. The box sets are in Kindle Unlimited as well. So you can read the first 3, the first full story arc in one chunk, and then in December of this year, you'll be able to read the second story all in one chunk. All of my projects are grouped that way, though. So it's the same thing with A Celestial Serenade. It's 3 trilogies, and you would have to read them in order for the story to make sense. They are chronologically sequenced. To just gentle this up a bit compared to how it is. Let's go 45 and 45. Perfect. I think that might be much better than what we were looking at originally. Just move this up just a little bit, and this is actually I think that's where we're gonna leave that. So those runes are slightly more visible now on this piece than they were before. Save a copy. We want to just save over this one. Yep. I'm gonna open the copy. Image size Okay, and now we should be able to open those up again. And have a matching set. On League of Legends brained, I immediately thought of those runes I'm reading. Too much esports romance. Those runes were a brush that was made for me by the lovely, a series of brushes made for me by the lovely Delta Flareon. The only ones I didn't manage to somehow lose in the transfer of my last hard drive. Oops. So there we go. We've got a matched set. We've got a matched set of brand new covers. I'm pretty happy with that. You can see the runes on all three of them now. They're not super prominent, but they're there. I like that this one has the runes and the little will-o'-the-wisp sparklies in the background to match it. Ironically, I somehow moved those will-o'-the-wisps by selecting part of the layer and moving just that part of the layer, but I couldn't do that with the other runes. Huh! But here we go. We've got a set of 3 matched covers. I'm pretty happy with that. Those are finished now. Completely finished. And we're just going to take one quick look at the box set cover to see if I need to do... yes, that should be saved at 1000. Perfect. And now we just need to open up the box set cover. I will, of course, have to redo the... I will have to redo, so if I can open this and show you guys. So I will have to redo the... This is what the wrap looks like for the paperback. But theoretically, because I'm using the same background, I should just be able to merge my new background and put it in perfectly into this space on all 3 of them to update the paperback wraps. So hopefully it'll be super simple because I haven't changed the spine size, so those should all line up. And then here we have what I've essentially taken that that first cover and turned it into the box set. Words failing me utterly, totally. Turned it into the box set cover. So the main thing here is that I feel like the Everyone's Child Part 1 isn't quite readable. So I feel like if we zoom out, you can read the title, you can mostly read the name, but you can't quite read the subtitle. So I could move it, whoa, that's not at all what we wanted to have selected. I could move it down, I suppose. I could move it down here. Feels weird though to have it there. Could move it up. Doesn't help spectacularly. Let's see. I'm looking at it on that screen because it's smaller. It's easier for me to tell without zooming out. Slightly more readable. Whoops. Be the best solid outline I can really do. That's definitely better. It's definitely better. I'm not sure if I can do anything else without adding some weird... I try not to do too many... I try not to do too many effects to the text, because you want it to be pretty clearly readable. If I did that and then made my drop shadow ever so slightly like that, if that would be more readable. I don't know if that looks super good though. I don't think I like that. Definitely don't like that.
feel like that's readable at this size. It's readable at that size. I don't know if it's readable at that size. It's gotta be pretty small. It's gotta be readable at a pretty small. Now that does help. So, I think the only other thing I could do is make it bigger, but if I make it bigger... I don't actually think that helped. Better at that size. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. And there we have our box set cover. So that's 4 covers completed in the time it would normally take me to do 2. Which is nice. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to accomplish today. And then I have to make a wrap for this as well, but I will have to, format the paperback first. I formatted the ebook for this box set last night. So I just need to format the paperback for it. And I need to do that first because I need to know the spine length in order to actually do it. We could see if this will cooperate. So basically what I do for this is I'm going to turn off the text. So we just have the background. And then I'm going to merge visible. I'm going to select that. And then we want to turn our guide on. So this is the guide that shows me essentially where the spine is. And then over top of this, we want to paste in our new cover, transform, and to align our edges.
and if we're very, very lucky, it lines up perfectly. Perfectly. And then we just have to go in and, like the books, the other covers, I've basically just turned up. Oops, hang on. I've basically just turned up the opacity on the drop shadow here. Let's give it a little bit more readability. Make sure that all these ones are similarly. I might have to change it a little bit because size does matter. So 914 here. Whoops. So I might have to change them again, change the base ones again if I screw with this, but this is 23.1. Doesn't look quite as good. Definitely learned that drop shadows are an inexact science. Whoops. Wrong one. There we go. Hopefully, if we zoom that out, easier to read. So I have to save that, and then save a copy. That looks pretty decently readable to me. So we will save it. I did want to make one last tweak here to this. Go. Save that. Also, just made all those adjustments, so I suppose I should do the same to this one. It's 19 and 9. And 9. That one is 17 and 1. Okay, and I think we already fixed this one to be maxed out. So we save, and then we save a copy. And we set the sizes. We need right, I'm gonna take one more quick break. Pie, thank you for the pie trait. Gonna take one more quick break, and then we're gonna spend just a moment here. I should actually reopen book one. We're gonna spend a moment here just tweaking a couple of things, and copying a few more things over, because it's gonna save me a ton of time later if I just do all my little tweaks right now. I'm super happy with how these turned out, not gonna lie. I am hoping that when it comes time to do the second half of the series, because there's 3 more books in this series, that I can make them look just as good. I know what to look for now. I know that I need simple, clean images with large spaces and just clear, thick lines. And then hopefully I can do what I want to do, because I think the big problem I was having before is I was taking photos and I was laying them over top of photos and putting photos, having you see photos through them, and it was too much. It was too complicated. It was too detailed, and I think just having the clean lines and the simplicity of it, I think, is what I was sort of missing. So basically taking vector art to use as sort of the see-through part is what really I should have been doing the whole time. And it's funny how you come up with an idea, you make it super complicated, realize that doesn't work, and then you go back to the drawing board and make it simple, and that's sort of what serves you. So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad it's working out. I'm gonna take one quick break, and then we'll do about 20 more minutes here, probably, possibly less, of fiddling to get everything sort of where I want it to be, and then we will pop on to a raid and see what other people are doing. So I will be, because I gotta get through my afternoon stuff so I can go work on a train, you guys. I'll be right back. for Clurb! Peter, you're in the right place. The Clurb is here. We only had one rage quit incident. We only had one Megan fully lost her mind incident on stream today so far. I feel kind of bad that I was like, I'm going on a break! But also I find it funny that I was like, I'm going on a break! And I just walked away. You'd have loved the pink pony Clurb. Oh, Peter, how are you today, my friend? How's it going? We do have our spirits on in the background, but we are working on covers. So we have finished that one. Let's take one moment and adjust. So the settings should theoretically be the same for all of them. So 19... 19 and 9. Switch it when I've done that. 14 and 9. And for that part, 17 and 1. Save and save a copy. Just make sure I didn't make that less readable at the small size. Oops. I feel like that one might actually be better. We said inexact science. Did a thing that wasn't strong, but I did it so I was brave. I'm now on a train. Big chugga chugga choo choo energy. What did you do, Peter? What did you do? Tell us about how brave you are. A hug would be great. A hug would be great. It just, Photoshop really upset me earlier. We're okay now. Yeah, Willow, she totally works for the train. And so if you're on a train, you just need some assistance, she's gonna be there for you, okay? She's gonna take care of it. Because she works for the train. It's 100% legit. She didn't get a forged ID from her friend. Photoshop. It felt like it for a hot minute. Okay. Wait, how did we do it on this one? I feel like this font is hurting me. Feels like not quite enough. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Because I think that's readable and it's the closest match. And this font is being very strange, I feel. It's not always behaving exactly the same way. We will save a copy. Save it here. Yep. Okay. And then we're going to turn off. Tell me I did not flatten all my. Shit. I accidentally saved that as a flat copy, which was not what I wanted to do. So I better be happy with that because I can't change it anymore. I accidentally completely saved over my, that was not what I wanted to do. Shit. Okay, it's fine. We'll live. We will live because I actually have a copy of that background on the paperback. And hopefully I'm not changing them anymore, but that was dumb. That was dumb. That was a dumb thing that I did. That was a dumb. We will remember to, not do that this time. Rookie mistake. I know. Usually I'm so careful about that, and I didn't even think of it. Flower Girl, how's it going? Are you feeling better today? I know that you had a migraine day yesterday. I hope you're doing better today. Perfect. And then I actually need to open... So luckily for me, there's my original background. There's my original background, and I also have that, I have a copy of that. So I don't have a copy of the part of that we did, but theoretically if I ever changed anything it wouldn't involve that. So thank you for the posture check, Flower Girl. Feeling better, thank you for asking. Also just did some retail therapy. Ooh, that I probably shouldn't have done, but oh well. What did we purchase? Do you want to share? Do you want to show it off? No pressure. You don't have to tell us, but I love to hear about other people's retail therapy. Because I too sometimes, my big thing to buy myself is puzzles and craft supplies. So I too sometimes indulge. Life is dumb and I hate it. No, Peter, but we love you. It's beautiful, 0 work required. Thank you. Cheers to the hydrate. I'm a little annoyed at myself for accidentally saving a flat copy of that, but it's okay. That was the one that would be the hardest to remake if I ever had to remake it, but it's okay. We'll live. We'll survive. The mistake will be lived with. 14 and 9. Six and 9. So that might be a little too much as well. They're not all the same size. Font sizes and shadows have a lot to do with each other, so sometimes you gotta accept that the things aren't gonna be exactly the same. Actually should just do is say no, don't save, because I already saved that one. It's what I should have done for the other one, but I changed the font afterwards and I forgot. 23 and 1. Went to the local Joann's and got a bunt pan, ooh, and some fake foliage for a wall art idea. Hey, I mean, you were already there, right? And if you're there, you may as well pick up all of the things that sing to your art soul. Plus some bathroom organizers that I definitely didn't need, but I want to make my apartment pretty. Listen, organizers are always a good thing, because you can always use them for something. I totally forgot what numbers I said that it was supposed to be. 23 and 1. Oops, that's not even the right one. That's the wrong wayward. What is it doing all the way down here? That one did line up better. Good. Save that one. Perfect. There we go. Brand new paperback. And then... book 3.
pretty readable. So I think we're good there. And we need to open this and image size 1000. Keep closing things that I need. I like how you skipped 5 messages. What? I did skip a bunch. I saw that neck crane as a dabbler in digital art. I know how it feels. I do have a tendency to lean forward a lot when I'm doing editing and art stuff, so I appreciate it. I would not say enough pies on these covers because it's not round, just like Earth. Pie, I can't steal your image and put it on my covers. That would be illegal. You have a legally distinct right to your image. A question from Peter. Please explain why it is flat. Oh, because I accidentally merged the layers and forgot to unmerge them before I saved it, so it's flat. If I want to change this, I have to completely remake it. That's why it's flat. If you look at this one, it's all different layers, so I can turn them off and turn them back on again and make changes to bits and pieces of it, but I accidentally saved this one as flat, so I can't do that anymore. Which isn't great, but theoretically it's finished, so maybe it's okay. I don't know if I have a backup of it from before I flattened it, so we're gonna find out. Messages are longer. I didn't notice that the chat had gotten pushed up, I will admit. I'm very focused right now. Ignorance is bliss, which is a phrase 100% about streamers ignoring chat. True. I don't need to go to Joanne and stock up on planner stuff, but I might do it anyway. You always need. I had a happy planner 1 year. It's back there. And I don't use it anymore. I use Legend Planner now. I have like 8 of these. Legend Planner for the win. I wait until they go on sale and then I buy 2 of them. I have one for next year, and I have one for 2027. I'm good. Is it bad to make it flat? Yes, because I can't change it now without remaking it. But it's done, theoretically, so it should be fine. But if I ever want to make changes to that, I essentially can't. But it should be finished, so it shouldn't matter. I'm annoyed at myself, but I don't think there's any way... I don't think once you've saved it and closed it, I don't think there's any way to get it back. I can ask Google, but I'm pretty sure... I think I've already closed it, so I can't... Yeah.
Nope. I screwed myself and I can't unscrew myself. It's fine. I never fully finished setting up my... File history is off. Good to know. It's fine. We're resigned to this. We're resigned to this reality where I saved over my file. It is what it is. Again, it should be finished. It shouldn't need anything else, so it shouldn't matter that I saved a flat version of it. I'm just sad. Did I do the hydration? I thought I did the hydration. If I didn't, I'll do it again. I'll do 2. Fingers crossed you don't wake up in the middle of the night wanting to change a detail. I mean, it was pretty much finished. It was just, I did things in a stupid order and I didn't double check and it was my own fault. I'm just kicking myself right now. This is me expressing regret. Yeah, what are you looking for a migraine journal? Because you can actually just buy, like, little notebooks that have, like, not quite graph paper, but, like, dot paper, and you could just use something like that. Unless you want something, I use Legend Planner. These are all undated, so you fill in the dates yourself, but they are actually, like, it has a week area, and it has a spot where you can do wins for each week and what you're gonna do better, and then like your notes. And then it has a month area. And so you put in all of your months, and then at the end of the month you can rate your month. And you can rate your month and you can put in like your thoughts for the month. But this is like a full planner type thing. Dated entry pages to notate triggers or whatever. You could, maybe, this might still even be too fancy for you though. Narrator voice. Megan woke up at 2:21 a.m. wanting to change a tiny detail. There were no survivors. These things do happen. It's the wrong place to start, honestly. Also, the number of times that I've had to remake an image because I've done something like that is a lot. So, if you're wondering Has Megan ever done that before? And did she learn her lesson? Yes, and I thought so, but apparently not. Let's do 15 with these ones. They're slightly smaller. I accidentally save over files instead of making a new version at work, but we use Dropbox, so thankfully I can just go back. Yeah, I was basically checking if I was able to do that. If I hadn't closed it, it would have been fine. But I closed it. And I didn't think to look until after I had closed it. But again, it's theoretically, if I ever make any changes to these covers, they would be completely different covers again. So it theoretically wouldn't matter. So whatever. It shouldn't it shouldn't be a big deal at this point, but I'm just kicking myself. The regret is here. This is a new idea and I have barely looked into it. Hey, no worries. I am always happy to talk day planners because I love day planners, but I can go a bit overboard too because I love day planners. How was D&D light last night? It was mostly just some housekeeping. They were finishing up their levels. Flutter was talking about which new spells that she picked. They were talking about their town and how they're going to build out their town, getting ready for the next roll on stream. It was a lot of math, basically, but it was chill. It was nice. We had some cool conversations. The nice thing about printables is that there's plenty of free options. That is true. If you're looking for something simple. Also, if you're looking for a diet tracker, you could look for Weight Watchers because they actually make diet trackers, or there were plenty of blogs where people have made diet trackers for Weight Watchers, which might be helpful. Hey, I can't go to Joann's without looking at the planner area, so I feel you. I'm an old lady and I have a printer and I use it regularly. We did too until it ran out of toner and we couldn't find the toner packs for it anymore. And then we retired the printer. Now if we need something printed, Ghost prints it at work. Yeah, anytime I'm in Joann's or Michael's or a bookstore, I have to go to the planner section. I have to. I simply cannot leave until I have at least checked what is in the area. I need to know. Notice how we unmerge them now. Right away, so that I don't accidentally save it that way. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? What? Stop. That's why it's not working. Now, you'll notice that there's a distinct difference between the right side and the left side, but that's theoretically okay because there's going to be a fold there. So the idea is to essentially put the one portion on the fold, to put the line essentially on the fold. Now, I'm a bit off on this one, for sure, but... adjust it a little bit. So we're essentially trying to put, that was one too far. I'm essentially trying to put the difference in the contrasts into, the fold. So that theoretically, once the book is folded, you won't be able to tell that there's that drastic of a difference because it will happen at a, like, a visual curve. So there we go. And now we just have to adjust the text on here and we should be good to go. So, first of all, don't save. This is what I usually do, is I usually close it and hit don't save so that I don't accidentally flatten them. But things went a certain way. It's fine. We'll live. We'll somehow manage to live a little bit. Alright. So this is 26 and 9. Ooh, that looks sharp. Actually want that to be perfect. And one more little tweak for this. And there we go. Save. So there we go. We can't do the box set right now because I don't know the length of the spine. I have to actually sit down this afternoon and do the formatting for the paperback. The one thing that you can't do, I use the same template for all of my ebook covers, but you actually can't do that for your paperbacks. You need to get this little template here, which sits over top here and gives me sort of my guidance on where to put all my text. And in order to get this, you need to actually have the formatting of the paperback done. You plug in the amount of pages that it is into the cover calculator on Amazon, and it will spit out this template for you. So I need to essentially get the length of the spine in there, and that will tell me where I put everything, because the larger the spine is, the less space you have for your other cover stuff, essentially. And the spine is going to be much bigger on a book that has 3 books in it versus a book that has 1 book in it. So that is as far as we can go today, but that is twice as much work as I thought I would actually get done. I was actually planning on spending a whole day next week doing these paperback covers, and now they're done. They're actually just finished. So I'm very pleased with that, despite the mishap. We're good. We got so much done today. I'm super happy about this. See you tonight, Rai. I'm super excited to work on the train, you guys. We're gonna see who is available for a raid, because I'm gonna go eat some food and get ready to do my afternoon work so that I can go work on the train. Why is it literally not showing me any of my channels that are online? This is very strange. It's just showing me popular channels. It's not showing me any of the channels that I follow. Why is this happening? Have they gotten rid of looking at channels you follow? Do I have to go to a whole other tab for this now? This is ridiculous. Look, it's a thing. How did the Bee Saga end? I have not been able to find the bee today. Last night it crawled up onto the windowsill and I, like, up on the lip above the, skylight, and I have a feeling it may have died there. I hope this isn't a change that they're making permanently, because this is awful. But if it's just an issue that they're having, then fine. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it. It never came down. It threw itself out the window for a significant amount of time last night, which was awful. I tried opening the door and wafting the breeze in. I tried it with both the front door and the back door. Nothing really worked. Every now and then we've had one come in the house, and like 2 days later I'll find it crawling around on the carpet. So I'm keeping an eye out for it just in case. But I have a sinking suspicion that I'm never going to see it again. I felt very badly. This probably sounds so melodramatic. I felt very badly because I could tell that it was getting desperate, and it was throwing itself very heavily against the window, and then it just kind of quieted down and laid there for a while. And I know it's just a bee, and it's probably like overreacting, but I felt very badly for it. Because I could tell that it was very desperate to get out of the house, and I had a way to get it out of the house, but I couldn't get to it. Because it was up so high. So I have no idea if I'll ever see it again. It's entirely possible that it went to sleep and never woke up. But if I find it, if it shows up, if I'm able to get it out of the house, I'll let you guys know. This was a bee. This was 100% a bee, not a wasp. Wasps are assholes. But this was, I believe it was a carpenter bee. I do believe I identified it as a carpenter bee. And I think it was a male, so I don't even think it has a stinger. It was quite large. It was about this big. And it didn't have the hair on the abdomen. So I believe it was a carpenter bee. I thought at first it was a bumblebee, but I think it was a carpenter bee. But I just could never get to it, you guys. I also throw myself against the window. Peter, open the window. Go outside. Why did you move out of this great house? Well, the ceilings were too tall to save the bees. We had this same problem at our last house. We had a skylight above the stairs in our last house, and it was the same thing. But there was also a ceiling fan there, so I feel like what would happen is they would all go onto the ceiling fan to die. And now they just go up, and usually they come down at some point, but this one never did. Unfortunately. So, that is sadly there was no ending. No good ending. We're actually gonna go, say hey to Comf. She is not doing a, study stream right now. She usually does study and or often does study and co-op what's the word, co-working. My brain just decided to die. She often does studying and co-working Pomodoro streams. But today it looks like she's doing a Soberversary celebration, and she's currently playing Dead Space, which I love. I don't like horror, but I do like Dead Space. It's weird. Comf is amazing, super comfy, cozy atmosphere. I hang out in her streams a lot. She hasn't been streaming as much lately because she's doing schooling. So whenever I see her, I like to give her the support and head over. She's the one that my sweater in the game reminds me of. Her avatar Burr. So we're gonna go say hey. If it was a carpenter bee, did it sing, "Why do birds suddenly appear"? No, it didn't. It didn't sing to me at all, and I'm sad about it. That made me laugh way louder than expected. Time to let my brain out the window and eat some food. So you guys, if you have my emotes, feel free to use them. Otherwise, use any emotes that make you happy for the raid. It was lovely to have you guys. Sorry again that I rage quit. Listen, we all have our moments. But I came back. I got it done. It happened. Tomorrow I will be back here 10:30 a.m. PST, same striker time, same striker channel. We are going to be editing tomorrow, so there'll be a lot of intense staring at the screen while I edit action scenes. My favorite, your favorite, because I suffer the most, so I assume you enjoy that the most. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Tonight, I will be over on Roll Propelled Gamers with more Willow. She works for the train, you guys, and I'm super excited to see if we solve this mystery. Keep in mind, if you come to our Cozy Chaos streams, me and Woof are streaming on Friday this week. Peter, I know you will ask. Friday, 7:30 PST on Woof's channel instead of Saturday. Saturday, I'm taking Ghost out for his birthday, to his birthday dinner, because the restaurant we wanted to go to is closed on Sunday. So we are streaming on Friday. Cozy Chaos on Woof stream on Friday, and I will be back next week with the regular here on my channel. We are rating Comf. What's that in my time? I don't even know your time zone, Pi. I assume either very late or very early. You've never seen Megan and B and Batman in the same place at the same time. This is true. You're so brave for coming back. Peter, you're brave and amazing and wonderful, and I appreciate you. Thank you all so much for coming to hang out with me. For anyone who's wondering, this mystery is there was a murder on the train, and we gotta solve it tonight on Roll Propelled Gamers. Check it out. Also, there will be a watch party in the Discord on Sunday evening, 8 p.m. PST. We're going to be watching The Fifth Element, which is Ghost's pick for his birthday. There's tons of birthday celebration happening on Ghost's channel this week. There's a full schedule in the Discord. You guys be sure to take care of yourselves until then and after then. Remember to eat, to sleep, to drink, to take your medication if you need to check if you've taken it. Get up, move around, shift the way you're sitting from time to time. Take care of this meat sack you're driving through the world, because you're amazing and you deserve it. A bee is 170 Batman in a Megan costume. You guys, I love you. No problem, Sardonisms. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all again very soon.
It's not really a thing anymore, is it? And you know, you mix enough stuff together.